XRP is on a meteoric rise that could take it to as high as $1,650.00 to $2,900.00 by the end of 2024. Get ready for a big financial break. These claims aren't just shocking, they're based on a major event, the coming out of an XRP ETF. Think about this. BlackRock, the huge financial company that made a Bitcoin ETF that did very well, is now applying its impressive track record to XRP. BlackRock's move into XRP is a big deal because almost every ETF plan they've set in has been approved. There's more, though. BlackRock isn't the only one making waves. One more thing has joined the game: Grayscale. They have not only suggested an XRP ETF, but they have also added XRP to their collection of cryptocurrencies. This shows how XRP and Ripple Labs are becoming more important in the world of foreign transactions. Hi, Moneyside family. Welcome back to the place where you can find everything about XRP. Before we get into the meat of today's post, let's quickly catch up. Please do me a small favor. Tap the like button, subscribe, and bell button to become a part of our wonderful group. Also, just so you know, we're getting ready for a huge XRP gift as we get closer to 60,000 subscribers. It's really easy to enter the giveaway. Just do these 3 easy things. So make sure you're ready and tuned in. To make sure you get into the giveaway, don't forget to leave a code for Moneyside in the comments. Right now, let's check out what's new in the exciting world of XRP today. When you look at the numbers more closely, it's clear that BlackRock has a great track record when it comes to approving ETFs. BlackRock's move into cryptocurrencies and Web3 marks a major change in how traditional finance views digital currencies. BlackRock is the world leader in asset management. Their almost perfect track record of approving ETFs shows how well they know how to navigate the financial market. Remember that BlackRock has an amazing 99.8% approval rate for ETFs, which makes them an unbeatable force in the ETF world. It's important to look at the big picture. Big banks like JP Morgan and BlackRock have not only been looking at XRP, they've also been actively buying it. Reports, including a paper that got out, say that these big companies have put more than 7.5% of their entire wealth into XRP. A recent, well-researched article even suggested that BlackRock might be switching its entire focus from Bitcoin to XRP, which would be a big change in how they spend their money. This move shows that people are becoming more interested in XRP, which makes the idea of a BlackRock-backed XRP ETF more likely than ever. Now, though, things get even more interesting. Someone new has come into the XRP story. The fact that there is an XRP ETP, no one knows who made this ETP, but the fact that it exists is a key step toward an ETF. Reports say that the XRP ETP has been released, but it is still in the pre-release process and has no value, but ready to be shown off any day now. There's more. People are talking about the possibility of launching an XRP ETF at the same time as the ETP. This simultaneous release not only makes sense, but it also shows how quickly work is progressing on the ETF. It could come out just a few weeks after a Bitcoin ETF does. To put this in perspective, especially since Bitcoin went from $0.00 to $43,000 before its ETF start, the potential for XRP is huge. XRP's value could go through the roof once its ETF hits the market, going up to $1,650.00. Listen up, because this isn't as crazy as it sounds. Since the XRP ETP has already gone live, an XRP ETF will be possible in just a few weeks. Many people don't know this, but Fidelity, a giant in the financial world, has publicly released the exchange-traded product for XRP. This means that things are moving quickly toward the start of an XRP ETF. The U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission is expected to give its approval soon. We even talked about a newly published piece yesterday. The news came from a report that was leaked from BlackRock and said that an XRP ETF might be coming soon. This report showed that an ETF filing for XRP was about to happen. A top BlackRock analyst made a public comment, which made things even more exciting, announcing that a BlackRock ETF will be launched that is just for XRP. They even talked about the iShares XRP Trust in an ATF report. At first, I wasn't sure about this, but I checked it out myself, and sure enough, it's on the Delaware list of corporations online. This new development changes everything, and it shows how close we are to seeing a huge change in XRP's market position, possibly even bigger than the changes we've seen with Bitcoin's ETF. Big change in the crypto world has been made clear by new study. BlackRock and JP Morgan have both bought more than 7.5 million XRP, which shows that big companies are getting involved with cryptocurrency. BlackRock is leading the way by not only holding on to a lot of XRP, but also using the XRP system in their business, and most importantly, moving forward with the public launch of an XRP ETF. There is a very good chance that BlackRock will approve the XRP ETF. They have almost a perfect track record of doing so. You can't say enough about how much an XRP ETF changes its value. This is why a $9,831.00 goal price for XRP, which may seem high at first, starts to make sense when you look at all the important events that are about to happen. Take a look. When you think about the huge amounts, XRP is setting itself up to become a major player in global debt trades. It's possible for $1.80 to $1.3 quadrillion to move through the XRP ledger, with the ISDA being the main driver. Along with this, the BRICS countries, including Saudi Arabia, are all adding the XRP ledger to their systems. Also, the Republic of Palau is using the XRP ledger to build its central bank digital currency. This is a traditional case of high volume, high demand, and limited supply, so it makes sense that the value of each XRP coin would go through the roof. This is a subject that's been getting a lot of attention lately. Some people think that my excitement about XRP is just a dream. Okay, so maybe they're right, but let me say this. I really want to accept this hopium. As I take a deep breath, I roll it up into a big ball and light it up. That's really strong stuff. I really believe in hope. It keeps you going, especially when things are bad and you're barely hanging on. No problem if you don't believe in hope and think it's all just wishful thought. I don't see a problem with that. Help each other out. That's what I tell myself. We're not about dropping pieces into a void, so anything less feels like that. We're here to keep things calm. And since we're talking about good things, I love how interesting the talks are and how challenging the views are that everyone has. It makes your mind work really hard. A good point was made about organizations and XRP. XRP doesn't have to be bought by them. You could also lease it. That's an interesting thought, isn't it? So I had an interesting thought. What would happen if XRP was only bought by regular people? I looked into this more and even asked ChatGPT how many transactions happen every day on the SWIFT system. The number was over $7 trillion, 0 cents, which was really crazy. Remember that this only counts foreign trade. It doesn't count the derivatives market, which is worth quadrillions, smart contracts, non-fungible tokens, NFTs, or tokenized assets like real estate. Now think about how XRP might be used in all of these areas. Let's focus on foreign trade, which is where SWIFT works. Take that $7 trillion, 0 cents, and cut it in half. What do you think would happen if XRP, with its 1,700 connections, yes, Ripple and XRP have really set a high bar here, had to handle only $3 trillion, 0 cents of it every day? In that case, the system would have to hold $3 trillion, 0 cents for that day. It's possible that this situation would make XRP worth more than $1.50 per share. That's it. Value will definitely go up. Because XRP has a big network, it makes sense to think that some of these links will invest in it. Going back to what we talked about before, prices could go through the roof once the system is live, even if institutions opt to rent instead of buy. This is especially true if XRP handles even half of this market. We're talking about well over $1, 0 cents per token if it includes all types of bank payments. So take a moment to think about this and relax, maybe with a drink in your hand. Think about what this hopium idea could mean. The world we live in is amazing and full of amazing opportunities. Do not forget that I am not a professional financial advisor. The information in these movies is only meant to be entertaining. Before making any financial decisions, I always tell my viewers to do their own study and talk to professionals. Thanks for listening. Give the video a thumbs up. And don't forget to hit the follow button if you liked it. Also, make sure the alerts are on so you know right away when I post something new in the next movie. I can't wait to catch up with you. Be careful.